Hey everyone, and welcome to your tone and lengthen class here with me on the mat today, where we are using a yoga block as a little add-on for resistance, weight, and also feedback in our exercises. When you're ready, setting your space, allow your body to make its way down into a child's pose and just start to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth as you bring awareness into your lungs expanding through your back and your ribs. Weight melting into the floor. As you breathe in here, just allow for your focus to become one with your breath. We're going to start to move through our breath, inhaling as you make your way forward, and exhale as you scoop through your spine, stretching on back to child's pose. Finding the articulation through your tailbone, rounding you in and back. And exhaling as you stretch, reaching your hips forward, finding this upward stretch to the chest, engaging through the glutes, supporting through the abs like a modified plank. Deep breath in, tailbone to heels, and exhale, scooping forward. From here, setting up on all fours, knees under hip bones, shoulders rolling down and away from the ears, engaging through your lats, stretching one arm to the sky, and breathing in as you lower, alternating, feeling where you're pressing from the ground, stretching and twisting your chest, opening up, keeping your shins and legs stable, really using your ground here as that point of contact and added pressure. You push down to reach. Deep breath in to lower, and exhale. Navel draws in, obliques twist you. This is so good for the posture and also to bring awareness into muscles and areas of the body that are tight. So really breathe this out here. We're going to start to extend arm forward, trying to get bicep to frame the temple, alternating as you exhale to reach. And again, inhale to lower. Feeling and finding your ground and supporting your hips through the use of your abdominal wall, suction cupping up to your spine. Start to bring attention into how the ribs are knitting into center and how your spine is in neutral. You're not tucking your hips under, you're reaching your sit bones out and back, extending your neckline forward. Deep breath in, lower down, and from here, rounding your spine as you exhale. Feel where you're stretching out, lengthening, classic cat and cow here. Exhale to press the ground away, suction cup navel to spine, and deep breath in, stretching, lengthening, and extending. Keep breathing in deeply through your nose, expand those lungs, and exhale, contract, and lengthen. We're going to be flowing right away into a tricep push-up press, hands staying shoulder collarbone width wide. As you lower down, you breathe in, exhale to stretch forearms, making their way to the floor, keeping your spine in neutral, feeling where your sit bones are pressing out and back, neck stretches forward. Inhale to lower, and exhale, use your ground to lengthen and stretch up and out of those wrists. Finishing your last one here. We're going to move right away into wide push-up presses, chest making its way right down into the center between your hands, elbows, arms. Use your back, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and as you exhale, stretch, pressing into the floor, activating through your chest as you stretch. Bring awareness into your abs. Keep lengthening your neck forward. Deep breath in. And exhale, press. Finish your last one. And then as you sit hips back, grab your block, place it into the center of your mat, and make your way into a seated position on your block or choose any other seated position that feels best for you to keep your spine long. Reaching arms up to ceiling, feel your fingertips spread wide and drop your shoulders away from your ears. We're going to start to press one arm back, one arm up, establishing the connection between the ribs, using the abs to knit the ribs in, but also equally sitting down to lengthen ribs away from hips. And at the same time as lengthening through your waist, you're engaging through your pelvic floor. We're decompressing the spine through the use of our deep core stabilizers. Keep breathing in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. This is an amazing exercise to do at any point in your day, especially I find in the morning, to really bring awareness to your posture, to how your core is connecting in, to what you're feeling. And also, it is an energizing movement. It really brings energy through the body. You're going to feel a natural fatigue, so keep concentrating on how you're sitting and how you're knitting your ribs together. Holding your arms all the way up, again, release your shoulders down, work on a diagonal, and from here, imagine you're gripping and grabbing two cords, two elastic bands, two ropes, whatever you can visualize and connect into for the sensation of pulling down, elbows garnering tension right into your ribs, squaring your elbows off with your wrist to 90 degrees, and activating through your back, lats, and chest. You want to make sure that you're fully energizing this move, so keep breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, sitting tall and thinking of this movement exactly like a chin-up. These kinds of movements are so humbling because you're using your own body weight and what gravity provides as the challenge, as the focus. These are high reps, so keep breathing and keep focusing on how you're pulling down, making that resistance come into the body on that pull down into your lats, chest and back. Really getting right between the shoulder blades here. Stretch your arms out, look from side to side, release and relieve any trapped tension by looking side to side if you need. We're going to close the arms shoulder width distance, retract those shoulders back, deep breath in, and exhale to open. Making sure that as you open, you can see your arms in your peripheral, but that you're working to stretch further and further back while connecting through the abs. We're going to change and flip the palms up, knuckles to floor, palms to ceiling, working for this chest expansion, keeping your elbows just in a soft enough bend that your shoulders can again feel that distance and drop away from your ears. Keep turning on your lats and sense where your muscles through your armpits to back are connecting. Pelvic floor activating. If you can open up and sit your sit bones down more while stretching through your spine, decompressing your spinal column. Work for that connectivity through your core. As you release your arms all the way down, give yourself a moment here. Release your block out from your sit bones. We're going to be setting up left knee on the block, hands separated shoulder width distance. Flex your left toes into the floor. Activate through your chest and back, neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Lifting right leg off the floor. We're going to be going into a semicircle, touching down from left to right, over crossing that right leg, making sure you're always in parallel. Knee to floor, thigh to ceiling. Inhale as you touch down and exhale as you move up and over. Focusing for hip stability, abdominals are pulling up as the glute is squeezing forward. That's the hip stability. One side is drawing upwards, the opposite side is pressing forwards. And just like an Oreo cookie, you have that center supported from both sides working. Keeping your leg all the way up right behind you on 6 o'clock, going into push-up. Breathe in as you lower your body frame down. Your leg is only lifting as high as you take your chest low, like a teeter-totter. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you press. From here, finishing and lowering each form down to the floor, taking your leg down into circles, reaching up and around, drawing the size here of a Magic Fitness circle, or think of a hula hoop. Your thighs in parallel, and you're working this circle through glute contraction to lengthen out your leg, abdominal contraction to lengthen out your torso. Finish your last 2 circles in this direction and then hold to the top, breathe in, and exhale, reverse your circle. Thigh still in parallel, stretching out and using your glute, inner thigh, abdominal wall to fully support your pelvis. Ribs are knitted in and neck is long. Finish your last circle, and from here, lowering down, make your way off your block and move right away into a stretch or cat and cow. Breathing in as you arch and exhaling as you scoop and round. Finishing your last cat and cow, we're going to be flowing right away into our second side, grabbing your block. Right knee goes on the block, you flex your toes through the floor, extend your torso, stretch out, lengthen, activate your left leg, lifting it up through your glute, and right away we draw our semicircle up and over, using the parallel to really ensure that you are activating and engaging through your glute and your abdominal wall to stabilize your hips. Your hips are in parallel, so there's not any opening going on, and you're not trying to transfer your weight where your hips move from side to side. You're thinking again of that Oreo cookie, equal pressure from your glute, pushing your hip bone forward, equal abdominal lift and activation to keep your hips stable. And going right away into push up and press, teeter-tottering your body down, keeping the activation of that left thigh in its stretch coming from glute and core. Lowering down onto your forearms from here, choosing your first circle direction, maintaining that parallel, ensuring that your spine is in neutral. Connect again with how you're pulling your abs up, squeezing your glute forward, stretching your neck long, and working for that total lengthen in opposition. This is where we're going to get that extra little bit of millimeters, that extra stretch where we're going to garner more tall through the body. Finish your last circle here, hold at the top, fully breathe in, and exhale, reverse your circle direction. Finish your last 2 circles here and slowly lowering down, remove your block. We're going to be making our way onto our knee, and your block is going to be useful for you for your side positioning. We're going to be on the right knee, and should you need to roll your mat for better support of your kneecap, by all means do so. Have your block set up in the positioning that feels best for your right hand. Left arm reaches out, and from here we're going to start to thread the needle, inhaling as you reach arm all the way up to ceiling, and exhaling as you scoop under your ribs. You're trying to keep as much as you can the stretch of your right arm by pressing your block down and away, so you're not bending your arm as you thread the needle. You're really working for this movement coming from your rib cage. Finishing your last one here, breathe in and exhale. You're going to bring your hand either behind your head, onto your hip, or anywhere else that feels best. Lifting from the ground, taking a stretch. Left leg is coming up no higher than your hip bone, and then you're lowering to the mat with control. Try to feel an emphasis that on your lower, you're pushing your inner thigh into tension that you're creating through your leg. Lifting up, we're using side of thigh, glute, and obliques. You're not trying to lose length, so ensure that you're not swinging your leg to get more height. You're controlling your lower and your lift. Challenging yourself here in the second thread the needle, flex your foot, keep your leg lifted, and we thread the needle again. You can always take your foot back to the floor, otherwise holding it up. You can already feel the challenge. Inhale to lengthen, exhale as you twist. Finishing here, pièce de résistance. Take your hand onto your hip or behind your head and lift up. Small pulses, up and up. Finishing your last set here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your leg down. Make your way onto the ground and mat. Set up for your second side. And we start with thread the needle. Breathing in to stretch and exhale to twist. Ribs twisting. Keeping your left arm as lengthened as possible and using the floor as a means to provide feedback from your body into the support of keeping your hips square, and just twisting the ribs. From here, taking your hand onto your hip or behind your head, lift and lower your leg, again feeling where you're providing feedback into your inner thigh to lower with control and with focus. Inhale and exhale. Torso stretching out, ribs pulling in, and feeling the stretch where you're trying to increase how far you're reaching the crown of your head and foot equally out in opposition. We're going to be adding the challenge on. You can always modify if you want to keep your foot on the floor, otherwise hold it up, flex, and thread the needle again. Breathing in, reach out, and exhale, thread. Ribs twisting, pressing your right foot out, establishing that hip support from your glute and your obliques. We are getting external and internal on here. You're working for that stretch and lengthen. You're going to hold your last one here, hand behind your head or onto your hip, and pointing your toes, little pulses up and down. Finishing strong. Final set here of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Take your leg all the way down and smoothly we stretch. Leaning, lengthening, reaching, and breathing. Setting up for our abdominals on our back. Take your block with you, and as you come down, finding a tabletop, you're going to place your block on top of your shins. Closer to your knees will be less challenging. Closer to your ankles will be more challenging. As you bring your arms to your floor, establish your feet to a flex and point where your thighs are squeezing together and where you're finding pelvic floor stability. Inhale and exhale. We're going to start with the feet flexed and pushing the legs forward and back, scooping the abs inwards, making sure not to overly arch the back. We're always working for a neutral, however, imprint if that feels better in training your hip stability from your core. Exhale to move away, squeezing your inner thighs, and inhale to restack knees right over top of hip bones. Go for a last one, and from here, sliding your fingers on the floor, nod on up, take your hands from behind your neck, hold thoracic curl, and going through a full range double leg stretch. We breathe into tabletop and exhale to reach out and forward. Navel to spine, squeezing your inner thighs into the center. Scooping your abs in, lengthening your legs no further forward than where you can control this movement from your abs. You should never feel like your back is straining. So modify your distance if you need and go for that optimal length where you can. Take this for one more rep. As you bend, reach, take your block out and off of your shins. Extend your upper body out, lengthen, ribs netted in together. Use your block on the ground to support your arms here. And as you stretch your legs up on your exhale, you want to feel where you're pulling your, again, navel down to spine. Toes go up, belly button pulls down. Ribs knit in. And you should feel this work right from your abdominal wall in both a stretch and contraction. We're getting length through honing in on how the abs are pulling in and down. Hold your legs all the way up. Externally rotate, heels together, toes apart. And from here, we're going to go into a single leg stretch. Alternating legs, reaching arms in opposition all the way back. Focusing that as you move, you're controlling the weight of your leg from your abdominals like you're moving through water. So the pull up is slow and controlled like your lower. Your ribs are knitting in and your spine isn't arching in any exaggeration. You're maintaining as much as you can neutral, but again, imprint is there should you need. Exhale to reach. Deep breath into stretch. Let's go one more rep each leg. From here, adding thoracic curl on as an option. Exhale to nod and lift. Stretch your legs forward onto a diagonal. Feet are flexed. We breathe in, stretching out and away. Exhale as you bring your leg back up. Squeeze your heels together. Inhale, arms stopping right where you can still see your hands in your peripheral vision. Always garnering the length from the core, connecting in that length. From here, lower your knees, bring your shins all the way in towards you, and give yourself a lower back stretch. Just allow yourself the opportunity to do anything that feels right for you. We are going to finish in a crisscross, so when you're ready, make your way on up, hands go right behind the nape of the neck. Ribs aligned with the hips, neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Breathe into center and exhale as you start to take opposite elbow to the direction of opposite knee, reaching out in length, trying to get as much as you can this twist to happen from your ribs, twisting as your hips stay parallel. Breathe into center and exhale, twist. Feels right for you to add on a stretch of your opposite arm to the outside of your tabletop leg. Work for that reach, extend out, and see if you can lengthen a bit more. Work for that tall through your whole body. Finish your last set of 3 and 2 and 1, knees to chest, and come down. Give yourself, again, any lower back stretch that feels good. When you're ready, rolling all the way on up, sitting tall, taking your block between both hands, thighs stretched out forward, ribs knitted in over top of hip bones, neutral pelvis, neutral spine. We are taking a stretch from elbows to armpits. This is where this alignment works the abdominal wall in length. We are so tight that this position for a lot of us is hard to get the elbows framing the temples. So working for the positioning first. Don't focus on your speed of movement, focus on your quality. You're keeping your elbows knitted in tight towards your temples, taking your hands towards the backs of your shoulders, stretching your ribs long as you sit your sit bones down. You're trying to cultivate the sensation that you're almost pulling your pelvic floor up and off the floor, almost like you're trying to squeeze your anus upwards while you're pressing your thighs downwards. That's the opposition. Feel that stretch as you reach on up, coming from your core. We're going to take the block forward, and wherever you're able to find a rounded spine positioning, navel to spine, without forcing this, stretch and reach. And drop your weight. When you're ready to unravel, take your arms stretching all the way up, right next to your ears. We are going to go into a seated twist, breathing in as you take your arms next to temples, next to ears, and exhaling as you reach one arm forward, opposite arm back, stretching in opposition of each shoulder, each hand, collarbones wide. Sitting your sit bones down and growing taller every time your arms reach up is one opportunity to grow tall. And as your arms press, that opposition of pressing down should help you feel where you're decompressing your spine, activating more through your pelvic floor. Exhale to twist. Inhale to lift. And just working here for a few more reps. Really bringing in all of the elements from today's class into your finish. When you're ready, stretch forward, either hands to your block, floor, or thighs. Pressing your hamstrings down, taking deep breaths in through the nose again, expanding your back body and ribs, and exhaling as you unravel. Roll your shoulders out, take a final stretch, reach on up to your ceiling, open your chest wide, stretch your arms down. And thank you so much for joining me for this tone and lengthen class on the mat. I hope that you feel both toned and lengthened. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, and guys, I look forward to seeing you at the next burn.